think they're going to be. And that's the Your Honor, man. The TV show Your Honor. There was a scene I'll never forget when Baxter, I forget the main dude, he was talking to his son Carlo. He was talking about how young people have the disillusion that they have so much time. And he was looking at it like, bro, you don't. Like, you think you do when you're 20, 21. Then you look up, you're 38, 39, 40. And it's like, yo, especially when the expectation is on you to just kind of, hey, you supposed to, this is your role in this world. Right? Yeah. The world doesn't have use for a useless man. This is what you're supposed to be doing. If you ain't doing this, you trash. And I think social media tell you every day you trash, and it gives you a false impression of who you are.
Facts. I think that's the tricky part about this age period that people don't talk about enough. And it's like, no, you don't got it figured out yet. And you still remember the time when you felt like you had forever. Like, we still close enough to those days where, like, we remember being 20, 21, 22 and the shit that we was doing and things of that nature. But you 40, you 35, you 38, nigga, like, that shit don't even matter no more, but it's still fresh in your brain, though. Like, you feel like that shit was damn near yesterday, nigga, and it wasn't.
That's
so,
what
like, that's what, when you were speaking about depression, Nate, that's part of it. Like, I feel like niggas get to, like, 37, 38 plus 36, and it's like, damn, nigga, that shit feel like it was just like I was thinking about a homie that I ain't talked to in years. Like, damn, I wonder what that nigga doing, and you don't even think in those times because it seemed like it wasn't that long ago, but in reality, I ain't talked to this nigga in 10 years, and this a nigga used to kick it with every day. So that shit get crazy.
They do.
Yeah. You remember things vividly.
Vividly.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I ain't saying nothing.
I was about to say, man, you think about things and you say, yeah, man, that happened in 2012. And in your head, for some reason, 2012 was 5 years ago. You stop. You're like, hold on, that was 13 years ago.
Decade plus.
Yeah. Like I was a whole different person and all of that. So yeah, I always say, man, I understand why people just check out. I understand how you get to that point. People start dreaming, people start having things because they don't have the luxury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you have a family, like yourself is out the picture.
That's why you gotta have something to look forward to. You gotta have something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know, man. Like 20s, teens, 20s. All I did was dream, bro. Like just dream. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I ain't had no plan whatsoever. But I just dream. But then when you in 30s, bro, it's like there is no dreaming, bro. Like, what's the action plan? Because between now and then, but then you talk to people who older though, and they 50s, like, bro, like just chill. Like it's gonna come. Like whatever. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I need to get it now, man, because I want to have fun in my youth. I want to be able to enjoy the fruits in my youth. I don't want to be sitting around like I'm finally all great. Like, yeah, I made it. Like, nah, bro. Like,
right. Yeah, man, that shit
I can't
crazy.
even enjoy this shit like I want to at 50. Like I wanted to enjoy this shit at 35, nigga.
Yeah, man. When my hair is still black, naturally.
Yeah.
Not like
Here we go. Here we go, man. Here we go. I hear the voices, man. We ain't done a cold open in a minute.
Yeah, it was good.
Back for another chapter of another week in the books. Book 2, Chapter 38. I'm your host, Rich, joined by the legend Spike Lou. We got a guest with us, my brother, Nate Austin. When I say my brother, I don't say that like lightly. Like this is literally my family. This is I'm sure you'll learn more about our relationship as this episode goes on and we talk about the journey because those dreams and stuff like that that we talked about in your teens and 20s, I was able to witness Nate dream. He was able to witness me dream. And, you know, I saw his talent firsthand and we're going to talk about what he does and everything else. But yeah, man, one of the best people I know, one of the most trustworthy people I know, by far the person in my life that keeps me most accountable. You better be who you are in front of Nate because Nate will call you out. Doesn't matter who's there. Legit will call you out. And I love it because it makes you be like, you know what? I can't bullshit around him. Nate Austin's here with us, man. Nate Austin's here with us, my brother. Appreciate you joining us.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Glad to have you. Glad to have
Absolutely.
you.
I've been watching y'all too, man. I'm proud of y'all for real, like, man. I watched probably at least six episodes, man. First one I seen was with y'all with Portia, and then I seen the one that y'all had on like a week or two ago. I don't know. I've been watching quite a few of them, man. I seen the one with Chaz on there, but yeah. It's good talk. I think these conversations that, you know, men need to have, or black men, people in general need to have these kind of conversations. You know what I'm saying? We don't think we talk about that kind of stuff enough. So that's dope.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That definitely means a lot. We're gonna get into we're gonna get into it, man. You see the title, Bet on Yourself and Know Your Worth. Part of this, the reason I wanted Nate on it, man, because he has such an incredible story. And I got to see it firsthand. Just, Nate's an artist. We won't get into the full details yet, but Nate's an artist and one of the most talented people, like self-taught talent. And I remember in college, we used to be telling Nate, like, bro, you ain't got to work for nobody. Like, you got enough talent. You got that God-given talent. It's almost like being an athlete and just knowing you go into the league. And that's how Nate was. And I don't know, and we'll get your perspective, Nate, how seriously you took yourself at that age and when things clicked and the whole nine. But being able to see that and see where you are now, man, I'm proud of you on top of everything. But last week, I want to just touch on this real quick. We don't really have to talk about this. I just thought it was funny. It's funny how the algorithms work. We had Portia on last week for First Friday. We talked about some masculinity stuff. I saw a post. Now, this is the internet. This is a meme, y'all. This ain't me saying it. The internet post that said the top 40 gayest things a man can do. And the responses were hilarious, y'all. I gotta read these and get y'all thoughts on this, man.
All right.
Because men can't do shit.
Nah.
Can't do shit.
Let Portia tell it.
That's what I was trying to. That's what I was trying to say last week. I wasn't caping. I was just like, man, we got to hold some space for dudes to be able to do something in this world. Because the first answer on here had me crying, nigga. Have a twin brother. Be your own man. Saying niggas can't even have a twin. Be your own man.
It's gay to have a twin.
Yeah. Screaming when the DJ tell everybody to make some noise.
Oh, that's fast.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Where my daddy's at? Whoa!
Yeah. Like my niggas make some noise. Like
where the fellas at? Hold on. Time out. The DJ said where the fellas at. Y'all can't say shit.
No, not the DJ, bro. If Erykah Badu said fellas, where y'all at? Then I'd be like, all right, man. Like you don't speak. Hold on. Time out. When another man tell you to speak.
Yes, it said when the DJ tell you everybody makes
some
noise.
Bro, who's the DJ?
It don't even matter.
Man, hey, speak, man.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. I ain't throwing my hands. I ain't throwing my hands in the air at the con. I ain't doing none of that, bro.
I'll put a lighter in the air. They be like, yo,
yeah, I throw the phone camera up or whatever it may be, man. I ain't doing the side to side with my nigga.
You know, Kyron, you love Jay-Z. Jay-Z say, wave your hands in the air.
Nah, hold on, chill, bro. Hold on, man. I done been to plenty of Jay-Z concerts, man. I keep it cool. Man. Said being a junior, be yourself. I'm a junior, Nate's a second, so we can't even do that. We didn't even choose that.
That was whack. Yeah, that one ain't.
Having a small dog.
I fuck with small dogs though.
Smoking,
but I can see that. I can see it.
And what kind of small dog though?
A small dog, man. I don't know.
Like a little, what's the little doodles? The little doodle? Nah. They gotta be like it's like maybe 10 to 15 pounds. Like that's the cutoff.
15. That's like a medium size.
Yeah, like I ain't doing a chihuahua. I ain't doing a like little bag dog.
Oh, using your picture as a profile picture. It's supposed to be some kind of avatar of some sort, bro. It was just hilarious when I saw it. I'm like, damn, we can't do shit.
That's elderly right there. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, man, we can't do shit, man. So I just thought that was funny, the timing of it compared to what we talked about last week, especially having a twin brother, because I'm like, damn, that's wild. Can't know the zodiac signs. Have a birthday countdown. Now, I do think it's weird.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah, when I see birthday count, or when let me ask y'all opinion on this, because I'm just curious. When men put the Cash App on their birthday, it's my birthday Cash App. I just think that's wild. I think that's insane.
Come on, bless your boy.
That's
bless your boy. Come on, man. Y'all need to chill, man.
Unless you do like streaming or some shit like that, where people like do already offer you money in those spaces. Like if you're a random nigga talking about and you put your Cash App after your birthday, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That is disgusting, my guy.
That's insane, man. That's insane. You should only do that for
like
kids.
Y'all wouldn't walk around with the pen. Would y'all walk around with the pen on?
No.
Like when people
exactly. I've done that in my life.
Like, I ain't walking around pinning money to me because I'm like it's my birthday, nigga. What the fuck out of here?
Wearing a sash, shit like that. Nah, man, we ain't doing none of that, man. But enough of that, man. Here we are, chapter 38. My good brother Nate, man. I'm glad you're with us. I'm glad you're here joining us. Shout out to Mo too. If you listen to last week's episode, you might have noticed, not on YouTube, but if you listen on podcast format, you notice that the music was back. Mo volunteered his producer services and said, "Hey man, if y'all record a little bit earlier in the week, then I'll go ahead and put the music back and kind of change the element a little bit. We appreciate you, Mo, for looking out for us. This week,
Absolutely.
due to scheduling, we could not record. Go ahead.
I just want to say that stemmed from the episode, just to make sure the bookworms are staying fully involved. That stemmed from the episode that we talked about when you ask people that are doing stuff like not only what you want to see from them, but how can I help you? And shout out to Mo, one of the most solid brothers I know. After listening to that episode, like he put in the group text with me and Rich, is like how I can help this way. Like I don't even need y'all to tell me how I can help, but I can help this way if y'all can make these adjustments. And that's where that came from. So make sure y'all still are putting that into commission, like reaching out to your brothers that you support what they're doing and asking them, how can I help you, bro? Because I love what you're doing.
Even going further, you're absolutely right. This week won't have any music just because we're recording a little bit later in the week. Too quick of a turnaround for Mo. We ain't gonna ask him to do that, but we have moved our recording date, so we can get that back in there. Love y'all feedback, bookworms. Let us know what you think. And in that same vein, man, I can say the same about my brother Nate, because I remember just chilling one day, literally, and just had a random text. Like, it wasn't even a hello, no nothing. It was just an image, a logo for the Coast Guard. The one that we're currently using now. He just sent something like, hey, man, I was just at work and thinking about some stuff, and boom. I was like, damn, that's dope. Like, it was. I showed Rachel, he had like 3 different options. We chose one as our current background right now. So those moments, man, people don't know how much they mean when somebody's thinking about you while you're chasing your dream, following a passion. You know what? Let me see what I can do. I have this talent. I can go ahead and help you in this way. Definitely appreciate you, Nate, for that.
For sure.
Just to give a little bit of background so y'all know, man, Nate is an artist. How would you describe yourself as far as what you do, Nate? Because you are an artist, like actual sketches and things like that. But how would you actually describe yourself? Because calling you an artist just seems a little bit too simple.
Like, you ask me, like, what do I do, or like, who am I?
Yeah, both.
Okay. So I think I would consider myself just a dad, a husband, just a regular old black man in America, who happens to have a little bit of talent, so I can put my thoughts, just like everybody else has my thoughts on the canvas. So I do a lot of acrylic painting. These days I do a lot more acrylic painting than I did really painting ever. I never really did a lot of painting. Everything was drawn, since childhood. So now I'm a little bit more into acrylic painting. So these days, that's really all I do. 2-dimensional stuff, paintings, portraits, concepts, conversations about whatever is going on in America, my thoughts on what's going on in America, how I feel about it. I try to put all that kind of stuff onto a canvas. So essentially, I'm an all-around visual artist, I'd say. Yeah, just exploring, trying to find ways to get better at it.
Let me ask you a question, man, because you're about to piss me off already.
What I do?
A little bit of talent. Like, do you really think you only have a little bit of talent, or are you just trying to be humble?
Yeah, like I think when it comes to, I don't think I've ever really been like arrogant or like when it comes.
But do you have to be arrogant to admit that you are talented in a certain space?
I never really been like, when it comes to that, I never really like to brag. I feel like the areas in my life where I feel like I'm the strongest, I never really like to, I never really like to be like, yeah, you see me, like, so I feel like sometimes the work speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? But I also don't like a whole lot of praise either. So like, that's my personality.
Not even being like you see me though, but just from like you said, you're a black man showing up and feeling like ain't nobody fuck with you. Do you feel like that often in your field?
I always feel like that. I always feel like, I always feel like that in my mind about how I feel about myself. But the way I express it sometimes, I feel like I try to be a little humble about it.
But you will say that to yourself, man. These niggas ain't fucking with me, man.
It depends though. It depends. Because I feel like lately I've been in rooms with other artists where I'm like, nah, like I got a little bit of talent. So it really depends on who's in the room. Sometimes you the big dog in the room, and sometimes you the little fish.
Let me ask you, how important is that to make sure you're staying in these different rooms to where, because I'm sure there would be something there where if I'm always the big dog, then maybe that flame
that's
inspiration might dwindle.
Yeah, that's something I had to, I think the last 2 years, I would say, I started realizing a little bit more. Like, so like when I first started, I'm like just trying to get yourself to a point where you kind of, I don't know, you kind of feel like, all right, like my skill level is getting up to the point where I'm good. But mind you, like since majority of people that you interact with are probably people that on social media or day-to-day people or people like you know what I'm saying, on a regular basis. If you're not surrounded with or immersed in the art culture, sometimes you see me and you be like, yo, you one of the best, bro. Like you nice. So sometimes if you're always around people who and even other artists, if you're around other artists who are and sometimes operating on like a plateau and some in a sense where you feel like you walk into a room and you feel like, yeah, like I just killed that. If you feel like that too often, then I feel like sometimes you may be staggering your own growth until you get into the ring with the big dogs and you realize, oh snap, like there's more competition out here. It's like being like a star athlete, like you played football in high school, so like just imagine being like really really talented, but you playing with like a bunch of lames on a regular basis, and it's like you're not getting exercise. And everybody like, man, Kyron going to the league, but then you start practicing with other kids in AAU and stuff like that. He's like, oh no, like I ain't really as talented as that. I got talent, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not under pressure. So I feel like that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is like learning to be in those other rooms and then being okay with being uncomfortable in them rooms. Just so I can eventually learn to you know what I'm saying, be more comfortable because I feel like I deserve to be there.
For sure.
What does an artist look like for you, like me, like from a professional standpoint? Like, is it I do graphic design and I do logos for people, and that's how I make most of my money? Or is it I do my paintings and I have an art gallery where people come buy them? Like from you mentioned being in the rooms, and this made me think about it. Like what does being an artist mean for you, like professionally? Like how do you get people to one, find your art, and two, how do you benefit from it?
I think lately I would say social media is probably one of the social media is probably like the biggest art gallery you can have. That's the way you can tailor your own gallery, and people can come to you anywhere from all over the world and come see you just by clicking something. So social media is kind of the way I get my stuff out there. I think that's where most people see my work. I don't really work with galleries as much as I should say, because sometimes I feel like galleries. The art game is kind of wild. Like y'all in the podcast game, so I feel like when y'all first started off, y'all probably like, oh man, I just have a pure love for what I'm saying for podcasting. But then as long as you go, you go on and on and on, you start learning the game, and you start being like,
Facts.
oh no, that ain't cool.
The industry,
you know what I'm saying?
the industry part of it.
Yeah. So like with us, it's like everything. You got to be a smart person to be an artist. You got to be a smart person. You actually got to be street smart to be you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to read people very well, because there's a lot of people. Oh my God, what is that? There's a lot of people who will try to take advantage of you. Whether it's somebody saying, like a gallery saying, hey, I spent, I don't know, 25, 30 hours on a painting. You know what I'm saying? I put my heart and soul into this painting. And then a gallery says, all right, cool. I could put it on my wall, but I want half of that. And it's like, and that's standard. You know what I'm saying?
Is that the game? Is it like
that's almost standard? Is a gallery saying we'll sell it, but we'll sell it for half? Well, it's like if I sell it for half just because you know some people, then I could do that for myself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, on Instagram or something like that. Or somebody trying to find a way to take your artwork and flip it. So like, hey, I bought something for you for the low. All right, cool. And then I'm gonna turn around and sell it to somebody else for 3 to 4 times that much. So sometimes it's weird like that.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
We'll talk about some. We'll talk about copyright infringements, because I got questions for you when it comes to that, because I know you're familiar. But even going back to the social media aspect, because I know you said that's your art gallery. I remember not too long ago, maybe a few months ago, Lil Duval posted one of your paintings, and it was the thing I love most about that was all the people in the comments who know you personally, making sure that you got your credit.
Yeah,
making sure like this is art by Nate Austin. This is, you know what I mean? I thought that was the best part, man, and I know that reached a lot of people. And even when I think about where you are, so if you're listening to us, Nate's Instagram is artby, so ARTBY _ Nate Austin. NATEAUSTIN. Once again, artby _ Nate Austin. So that's going to be the Instagram page, and you have 41.6 thousand followers. I don't know when it jumped to that. Like, I don't know when that happened. You know what I mean? Because you've had this page for how long? You got your personal page. How long did you? When did you start this art page?
I started the art page. I want to say maybe 2019, 2020. Somewhere
Okay.
actually, no, 2020. 2020. I started it. Because my wife Nicole told me that I started the Instagram. Well, even when I was in LA, when I went to LA to do some artwork out there,
we gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk to you about the whole LA experience.
Yeah, no,
that's
yeah,
the whole knowing your work part.
Yeah, I think it jumped in. I mean, we got up to like 10,000 or so, and it jumped. I think I had one viral moment, almost viral, I should say. One of my New Year's reels. Normally, every year I do like a reel to kind of say, like, man, just be, because I'm truly appreciative. But I just do like a reflection on the whole year, all the stuff that I did, and then for some reason that one just picked up like out of nowhere. I'm like, boom, 20,000 views, 30,000 views, 100, 200, 300. Then it just kept going to like almost a million. So that was when things started picking up more and more and more. Started getting like the celebrities starting to follow me, or celebrities are retweeting my stuff, or what I'm saying, not retweeting, but reposting my stuff. So eventually it started becoming, and I think it started to grow from there. But yeah, I think that, and it naturally grows. So, some people be out here buying followers. You buying them followers, but you can always tell when you look at the comments. You be like, nah, people ain't really your ratio.
One comment, you got 1,050 likes, but it's one comment.
Yeah, nah, them bots is,
It's funny because I'm looking, and like there's people that I know personally that follow you that I didn't even know knew you. You know what I mean? So that's always dope. What was that like? So you start your art page in 2020. Cole says you really need to get on top of this. And that's one thing I know you've told me personally, man. You was like, hey, man, like when you get a good woman, like when you get a good woman in your corner, like everything that you do is going to grow tenfold because they're really going to motivate you and push you and put you in that right direction.
Yeah.
So one, speak on that. Speak on that conversation you had with me in regard to that. Like, how important was it for you to have, or do you think you would even be where you are if you weren't married or didn't have Cole?
I think that at some point I may have gotten there. I don't know, but I think that the largest part of my success has probably been my wife from jump. Because mind you, like you've known me for years, so I was always a person who was always told, like, man, you talented, bro. Like you should do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, yeah, and I didn't think much of it because art wasn't necessarily something that seemed like a lucrative business. It seemed more like just something that you did because you just like to do it. But I didn't really see, especially people who look like me in the same color, making money. So I associated art with just being either some people say you're gonna be a starving artist or you gotta wait till you dead to make some good money. So for me, I was always like, that's one of the reasons why I didn't really want to do it. And I'm like, man, let me go ahead and try to force myself to be in a career some kind of way so I can make some kind of money because that ain't gonna be it. Especially, at the time I was selling paintings for like $300, and I'm like, man, if I could sell 3 million of these, then I could probably have enough to live off of. So I'm like, that's not living. But eventually through social media, I was able to start seeing, people who making money and stuff like that, or people who look like me who are excelling in the industry, who are doing really well. But that came because my wife plugged me in. So at the time, that was my girlfriend. We had just started dating, like our second. That's how I knew she was the one. Like our second or third date. Third date. We went to the Columbus Art Festival. It was like real big in Columbus. Like thousands of people outside just walking around, and it's like jam packed. She's like, "Yo, you want to go?" I'm like, "Yeah." On a Sunday we went, and I'm just like a person who wasn't taking art seriously at the time. I was just like, that's something I just did. I doodle here and there, but I wasn't taking it seriously. I feel like I had the talent, but I wasn't pushed to really do well. So, we had the festival. I'm walking around. I'm just like real inspired because I'm just feeling like, man, like this could be me if I like really like, invested in myself. I already tried. So I'll go over to one of them booths, and mind you, out of God knows hundreds and hundreds of hundreds of artists there. There was like a handful, maybe like 10 or 15 black artists. So I seen one of them, you know what I'm saying, young black man. I'm like, hey man, I'm asking him questions about his art. I'm just in the booth talking to her. Mind you, like she's not even my girlfriend yet. So I'm like just having a conversation in the booth talking to him. And his girlfriend is sitting down, or wife, I don't know who that is. She was sitting down, you know, kind of like helping him man in the booth. But I'm talking to him about his work, like, hey man, I'm asking him all these art nerd questions. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that everybody else be like, what are y'all talking about? But the whole time I'm talking to him, like, man, how did you do this? How you do that? In my peripheral, I can see Nicole talking to the other woman. And Nicole is like, hey, and I can hear her. So I'm literally hearing two conversations. I'm literally listening to what he's saying, but I'm hearing her ask questions like, so how do you set up the tent? So when do you have to submit an application? So when do you need a deadline? Like ask all logistical questions. And I'm like, dang. And mind you, like, we ain't been talking that long. So I'm like, man, this girl really, she's really invested in me. Like she care about me enough to like want to make sure that like the next time is roll around that I had the opportunity to be a part of something like that. Like that meant a lot. So I'm like, wow. But to your point that you said, man, so since being with her, I feel like God has only done nothing but multiply and increase whatever I've had going on. Because I truly do feel like, you know, when you have a good wife, you have a good woman in your corner, man. God just favors that, man. It's a gift. Something about women, bro, especially black women, but something about them that like whatever you put your hands to give to them, they will multiply that for you. You know what I'm saying? Fact. So that's what Nicole did for me. You know what I'm saying? She pushed me in ways like I didn't have a website. In 2020, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a website. She created a website for me, like on a whim. And then from there, we built off to that. And then from me building, being like, all right, you got to take it serious now. Like, all right, you got a website, you got an Instagram. All right, cool. She created the logo that I have, the logo brand that I have, the NFA. That's her. That's all her. So like, you know what I'm saying? She pushed me in that direction. But every time, I don't know. So I credit her a lot for that. But I definitely feel like, you know, you have a good woman. And then on top of that, man, a good woman kind of forces, hopefully I ain't rambling. But
no, you're good. Go ahead.
A good woman will like really inspire men. I kind of feel like men, like we need to be needed, and we need inspiration. We need to be needed, but we need a purpose. Like we need a purpose to feel like I'm doing something. Like everything's worthwhile. When you got a good woman, that woman that like you truly like when you meet that woman, you'll know like, yo, like I can't let her down. Like I can't let her down. And you know what I'm saying? Especially when you have kids, stuff like that. Like the same feeling you have, like I can't let them down. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I think that's something God putting in to feel like, yo, like when you meet that one and she inspires, and mind you, she ain't never came at me like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be successful. But something about it makes me want to strive to be better, you know what I'm saying? To make more, to you know what I'm saying, to give her the life that I think she deserves, because that's how she inspires me. Like that's my way to give back to her for inspiring me. So I think that's, you know, just having a good woman, definitely.
Yeah.
Man.
Shout out to Cole, man, because if y'all don't know them, they are the first time I met Cole, I was like, oh, Nate marrying her. Like they that couple. Like they're that like the best friend couple. Like we just been together for a long time. They genuinely best friends, enjoy time with each other. So it's one of those things that just made complete sense. It's like a hand in the glove. I don't know if you were gonna say something, Spike.
I got a lot.
Okay, go ahead.
Because that was good. A lot of times we teeter around the topic of relationships on this podcast, and you said you listened to a couple, so you know. And Rich and I being both single men, it's refreshing to hear what you said in the sense of it sounds like you had somebody that supported you from jump.
Yeah.
It sounds like you met like your soulmate. And I'm wondering, you said you knew very early on. How did you convince her? Because most females or ladies out here today, if a nigga told you, oh, I do art, they're going to scoff at that. It's like, man, nigga, like, what the fuck are you talking? Like you said, you thought about contemplating towards a career or whatever it may be. However, your wife and the lady that you met, she was like, no, this nigga good. I'm doubling into it. And I think that's a lot of the struggle that most men have. Like their dreams or the things that they want to really do, not being in corporate America, not going this place and selling myself out where, oh, I'm going to make $250,000, $300,000 a year because I'm going to be in this completely different person than I am at home with my wife. But that's what's required for us to maintain a relationship because I know what she needs. A lot of the things that you spoke on, you were able to convince her that no, I'm good at this. And if you buy into this dream, being a beautiful being that you are as a black woman, and how you're able to pour into me, like if you buy into this and you giving me your blessing to go ahead and do this, and you not gonna judge me because sometimes it may be low, like you said, struggling artists, and sometimes it may be high with the different rooms that you spoke about you being in. What do you think it was that you did that was able to convince her that, like, nah, this nigga is he got this, he can do this?
I really don't think it was nothing I did. I don't think it was nothing I did for real. Like,
because a lot of men struggle with that though. A lot of men struggle with.
And I want to say
she
this
ain't
too.
Supporting my dream. She ain't like she want me to go be this other different nigga, and I want to be this. And the lady looking at it like, nigga, that ain't gonna make us no money. I want the house over here. I want the car. I want the bag. I want these things. So a lot of ladies don't look at it like that, but it seems like you got a very good deal in the sense of like she was looking at you like, he got it.
Yeah. I think
before you go, Nate, I want to give some context real quick, because I know this. Was it the first date, second date? When did you tell her she was gonna be your wife? First date, he told her you gonna be my wife.
Yep.
Similar to Ja. We had Ja. He said that. Yes. So shout out to you.
Yeah, I really don't think I had to convince her. I think that it was like, so like, mind you, like I still have a full-time job. So like I've always maintained a full-time.
Is it in the artistic world? Like
no.
Graphic, okay.
Yeah, it's in education. The thing is like, sometimes like I put it this way, like, so like if you tell a black woman, like, depending, I can say that it depends on what your level of talent is and like how serious, like they can see the potential in it. So like if you tell her like, hey man, I want to be a rapper, and she like, all right, cool, and she listens to raps and them raps is trash, then it's like, yeah, she might be like, hey bro, like you might need, you know what I'm saying? But like
she's supposed to do that though.
Yeah,
she's supposed to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but when she saw my work, she's probably like, and mind you, then I feel like my work was trash compared to where it is, you know what I'm saying, now. But like, you know what I'm saying, 6-7 years ago, I was looking at my work and I was like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? But like when she saw it, she's like, oh wow, like you really do this. But like for her, it wasn't much convincing. Like she just trying to push me in the direction of like, yo, like whatever it is that you want to do, like I want to be a supportive person for you. And that's kind of like the person that she is, like, yo, like whatever it is. And like for her, it ain't the money. We started discovering that art is way more lucrative than all these jobs. When you start seeing these people getting auctioned off paintings and stuff like that for millions, or actual artists that I know, like black artists that I know that by name, that they selling their artwork for $60,000 a piece. It's like, it mind you, like if you make enough money to where you tell, if I make enough money to where I tell my wife, yo, I'm not selling this $60,000 thing. I just made this. I ain't selling this. That's how much money you bring in a year. Like it's a very lucrative business. But I don't think she ever looked at it as like nah, like you ain't making money, blah blah blah. Like she just like, yo, like this is what you like to do. Now, mind you, if it was I don't know, if it was the only thing I was doing and it was like hurting us, she probably still would have supported me because we had these conversations now. I'm trying to transition to do art full time. And like sometimes you got some months where I'm bringing in $10,000 in 1 month. The next month, it's like, you know what I'm saying, maybe $2,000-$3,000. It's like, man, this ain't it. So for us, it's like it's an up and down situation. So it's like the stability is having a job the whole time, health insurance, all that kind of stuff. But for her, I'm like, yo, she's having conversations now, like, how do we transition you to just do it full time? Whether we gotta pick up the slack, we might have to downgrade a little bit, we gotta figure it out. But like, I think you should chase this. You know what I'm saying? She was like, at least take a
great one. You got a great one, brother. Because
most
women are not willing to do that. Most women are not willing to do that. Like they're supportive to a point. Yeah. And I feel like, just from my experience, is that if you don't got the plan all the way together, or if you ain't like all the way understanding how to figure this out and make this amount of money, then it's like, well, when you gonna stop doing that because it's a hobby? And I understand from you just having this brief conversation so far, it's not a hobby for you, it's a passion. Yeah. And it's the same thing like doing podcasting for me. It's like I could meet women and tell them what I do, and they'll be like, oh, okay, that's a cool hobby, but they don't understand the extent of the work that I put into it. And it sounds the same way for you. And that's a key, that's a pivotal thing for someone you have a relationship with. Like really them understanding, like, nah, this is what I do. I'm doing this corporate shit so me and you can be good and have food in the refrigerator and our kids straight or whatever it may be, and make sure that we ain't out here struggling. But this over here, what I do on the pastime or the side time, this is actually what I do. Yeah. And I think we have a hard time getting them to buy into that. So hearing your experience is a refreshing thing.
Yeah, I think when I think back on my dating days, man, I feel like I've always had some type of support. Like they'd be like, oh snap, like let me come to your shows and stuff like that. Because like the difference, I say the difference between podcasting and the art business is like if I'm good enough, like y'all are good, but like people have to come to you and watch your show in order to see that you're good. Whereas for me, it's like instant gratification. So like you automatically in the spotlight. So if I create something dope and I'm at a show somewhere, when people walk by, they're like, "Oh my God, who did that?" And then you, as a woman, get to be attached to the guy who's getting. So it's sometimes like a clout type thing. So I've always experienced like I want to be next to the guy, or I want to be associated with the guy who's like the star of this. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes him like everybody. Oh, cameras is all out for him. I want to be next to that. But I feel like them type of women is just not the ones that you should be, you know what I'm saying, invested in. And marry, man, really the reality, man. I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of good women out here. It's a lot of good women out here, but like it's a certain type who really care about the lifestyle. Like it's a certain type of lifestyle they want to live based off of social media and all that kind of stuff. So they care more about the bag, about everything. And like I don't know. I don't think that's wild. Like that's like support your dreams. Like you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I want to go back a little bit, Nate. We talked about. I met you when I was 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? And met and instantly hit it off. First time I met Nate, he was playing the piano, like self-taught. Just knew how to play, just taught himself how to play the piano, man. Just always been an artistic dude. And I want to pivot just a little bit. We'll get back to art. I want to talk about that accountability portion that I talked to you about and get an idea where that comes from. I don't know if you remember when we lived together at the bunker, there was a time, man, I was in the living room, bruh. And still to this day, no one's ever talked to me like that, bro. You let me have it. I don't know if you remember this moment, but you let me have it, bro. You was like, bro, what are you doing? You bullshitting, you doing X, Y, and Z. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was at a place in life where
I think you was in a dark time.
I was just in a rut. Like I was just, I didn't know who I was. I didn't really know where I was
set
going.
This up a little bit more. Where was this at?
All right,
like,
so this is in Toledo. This is in Toledo.
Yeah, it was in the frat house.
Living together. This is about
So y'all in the same frat?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so this is in Toledo. This had to be around 2009, 2010.
How old are you?
At that point, I'm 22.
Okay.
22, 2009. Yeah, we lived in the house 09. Mm-hmm. Nate, that's when we moved in.
Oh no.
I had a girlfriend. I just had a girlfriend. Like that was really dope. Right? And everything. Yeah, she was really dope. Really dope, man. And just because of where I was in life and what was going on. Nah. She was just dope. She's still cool people.
I mean, good person all around. Everybody loved her, smiley, like love the Lord, just a good person.
Nate always Nate's the one that always tells me, bro. Hey, like, man, you dated a lot of wives.
Oh, 1,000.
He's calling me, what you call me? You call me Good Luck Chuck.
Yeah.
He said all the women that you date, they end up being engaged to the next dude they mess with.
Yeah. I be like, man, you pass up on a lot. You have a lot of wives. You didn't dated a lot of wives.
And I can't say you're wrong. I have, man, but I'm just
I feel like most of the women we dated, especially in college, bro, they were wives. They just might not have been ours, but they was wives. We just didn't treat them like that, but they was wives.
Fair. Going back to set this up, so I just broken up with her, messing with this woman. That complete downgrade. Really wasn't going to classes. Didn't have a goal. Didn't have nothing going on. And Nate, the same way, because we would get on Nate a lot, so we're very similar as far as personalities, and just certain moments where we can probably slack, like, right? You know what I'm saying? We bullshit sometimes, especially at that age. We were bullshit. Because I would look at Nate like, bro, you got all the talent. What you doing? Like, why you worried about this, that, and the third? sell your art. And he would always tell me, bro, you got a gift for speaking. Like, you need to do something with that. Like, we would always say that, but we never do anything. We just saw it in each other. I don't think either one of us kind of knew exactly what that meant. And I don't even know what led to it. I just remember it was me and it was Ralph in the living room. Ralph didn't really say nothing. And Nate was just letting me have it. And it's, if you know Nate, you know it's because, like, bro, you my brother. I love you. Like, I can't sit here. I'm not gonna be the friend that sits here and lets you crash out. Like, I want to let you know how much I think of you and that you bullshitting right now.
Yeah.
And I remember getting a little hot with him, but then realizing, like, nah, that's absolutely right. And that's what I needed to hear. And that's actually what kind of sparked my whole return back to Cincinnati. I'm like, man, I ain't doing nothing up here. Like, I stayed like an extra year. I'm like, I ain't doing nothing here. But even years later, that happened in 2009, it's 2025. Years later, that conversation always resonates with me because nobody had ever been that blunt and upfront with me about you wasting your talent, bro. You wasting your life right now. And I don't understand why, because you have everything, all the tools and resources that you need.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you're just in this dark space. What was it? Not just about that time, but just in general about who you are. Because it's not just me Nate does that with. Nate will do that with all of us. He'll do that. Anybody he calls a brother. Nate will call them out on their bullshit. You might not like the approach sometimes, and sometimes you might not be in the mood to hear it, but it's always something you need to hear. And Nate, you've always been that way. You've always held people accountable, and we've all been better because of it. Yeah. Where do you get that from, or where is that? Why is it so important to you to make sure that you're heard in that way?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I feel like, my parents are kind of like that. Like, they real blunt. So, like, they'll just flat out. I mean, but like a typical black family, man. Like, I don't care if I hurt your feelings. Like, tough love, like, deal with it. So that's what where I came from. But you know what I'm saying?
Do you remember that moment? Do you remember that moment? What I'm talking about?
What do you mean? I ain't gonna lie. I feel like no. Like, I feel like okay. I think I remember talking to you about it, but I feel like
nah, you weren't talking. You weren't talking, nigga.
Yeah,
you gave me a talking too.
Yeah, but I considering the time, like, this is a time when like you, I don't know, like when you see a friend of yours or your brother, somebody you truly love, like, you want to see them doing the best, and your vision for them. Like, when I see my friends and the brothers, people I care about, I have my own. And mind you, sometimes I'm guilty of that. That's also a bad thing. Sometimes I create a reality of who I believe that they have the potential to be in my own head. And I hold them to this great esteem. Like, yo, I think that you are here. Like, you could be doing this is that. And then, like, and mind you, like, I ain't perfect either. So, like, but this was the point where it's like, yo, like, Kyron not even on the threshold. He's not even at the plateau. He like below. He below his average. Like, he below his mediocre right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just going to work, coming home, locking yourself in the room all night. You know what I'm saying? Not really like. And I'm like, yo, as talented as you are, every time somebody talks, and mind you, it's not even like I was like, man, like I did like a deep, analyzing his life or something like that. But like, he naturally has a gift. So whenever you talk to people, people like to hear what you got to say. People like to talk to you. People feel comfortable talking to you. That's a natural gift. Since I was a freshman, you know what I'm saying? You were the person at BSU. People like to talk to you. People gravitated to you. You know what I'm saying? That's a natural gift you had. When you start talking, you get up there and just start jaw-jacking about something, and people just like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people believe you. You know what I'm saying? It's a gift that you have to do something like that. Back then, I remember telling you, like, yo, I think you should do some motivational speaking or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how it would land, but however it was, talking to people, no matter what, and you're doing it now. But no, I don't know exactly when I became that type of person. I don't know. And sometimes I gotta check my approach because I be, sometimes I feel like I be a little too crazy. And just saying stuff.
Well, that depends on the person too. I always appreciate it, but that's my personality. I can take that blunt feedback. Yeah. And I know it has gotten you. I know personally it has gotten you into some back and forth because people don't like your approach and how you go about it. Because like I said, there's no sugarcoating. It's straight to the, hey, bro, you bullshitting. Stop playing.
Yeah, some of that. So it's not even. Sometimes I'll say majority of times if I say something, if I come at you crazy, it's because everybody is thinking the same thing. It's just ain't nobody saying it. And that's the crazy part about it. It's like I love my brother, but like, why would I sit up here and let him drown because I'm afraid of hurting his feelings? Like, I don't care. Like, like I'll tell you what it is. And you know what I'm saying? And you know that, you know me enough to know that, like, I love you and I care about you. Like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but like, if I'm saying something that's beating you down, but without telling you like I think you better, then like, you know what I'm saying? So like for me, anytime I ever did one of them, like, hey, no, I think you're wrong, bro, blah, 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 it's like 10 times out of 10, these are probably private conversations or we all looking like that ain't cool, but ain't saying nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not for that. And maybe I think I have a strong like a moral conviction, I should say. And sometimes again that also could be negative because I tend to hold everybody to my moral standard, and I'm trying to learn how to release people from my moral standard.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know just publicly, man. I appreciate you. Like ever since I know you, man, and I appreciate you for that because we talk about just this podcast is for Black men, man. It's a space for these conversations, and a lot of times there aren't enough people that are being honest with their friends, and they just yes men. Or they look at it, and maybe not with a bad intention. I don't think when I say yes man, I don't mean like, oh, I'm scared to say something. It's more so, is this my place? Or
I
is
don't care enough to say something.
Yeah, I don't care enough. Oh, that's a grown man. He gonna figure it out. And you kind of hit the nail on the head, Nate, when you was like, hey man, like, why y'all quiet now? Y'all was just talking about how this is an issue, and now when it's brought up, nobody want to say nothing. Well, fuck it, I'll say something. This is what's going on. This is what people are saying. This is how people are looking at you right now. And I always appreciate that because it always, just like you said, there was never a time where we fell out or there was an issue. It was always love. You give your point off. I agree. I disagree. And then 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, man, it's always, man, I love you, man. I appreciate you saying that. And it's always, the moral is, it's always made me better every single time. It's always made me step back, get some perspective, and keep moving forward in a positive direction.
And likewise, it ain't like I'm like the super accountability person. I feel like that's all we do is hold each other accountable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
that's important.
You are way more tactful in the way that you do it. Sometimes I'll just be like, ah! You know what I'm saying? But like, you're more tactful about it. But I think we hold each other accountable, man. And you know what I'm saying? I think that's a beautiful thing.
For sure.
That's what these conversations are mostly about, accountability, and having those conversations with each other and saying like, I get what you're saying. I wonder, how long you been married?
3 years.
How many kids do you say you had?
2. So I have one, not with my wife, and then my little girl.
How old are they?
So 8 and 1. Just turned 1 yesterday on the 5th, 2 days ago.
Nice. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to the little one. I'm wondering, from what Rich just said, you being the head of your family seems like you're well respected amongst your wife and your kids. Do you handle those situations in the same way, being the head of your family? Like, if you're addressing stuff with your wife, if you're addressing stuff with your 8-year-old, is it the same way that Rich remembers, like, it ain't no nonsense, I want y'all to understand what we need to be doing and fall in line? Or do you find yourself, because are your kids boys or girls? How old is 8-year-old?
My 8-year-old's a boy, and the little one is a girl.
Do you find yourself trying to tiptoe around, I want to be more harsh than this with my wife, with my 8-year-old son, but I got to dial it back a little bit just because I know they ain't equipped for what Rich may have been equipped for when y'all was in the frat house? Like, how does that work?
I think that's fair. I think that you know what I'm saying, I think maturity and just having you know what I'm saying, emotional intelligence allow you to be like, all right, this, I can package the truth of what I'm about to say. I got to package it differently for everybody. And I think that's something that I learned even more in our relationship, is like, okay, like I can be as blunt and as honest as possible, but at the same time, I also have to realize that there's another person on the other end. Like, my message can be the truth and real, but there's another human being who's receiving.
I still got to consider their feelings.
Consider the way you receive it. I'm not allowed to just blurt out however I feel about stuff, whether I feel like it's the truth or not. I'm not going to do that without realizing that another person's on the receiving end of that. You know what I'm saying? The same way that somehow we want somebody to, how do I hear things? And sometimes that sounds like disrespect to me. My wife can't just say, yo, I'm going to say blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, yo, no, that sounds like disrespect to me. I hear disrespect. So like, you can say what you got to say, but it's a way you do it. So like, I'm learning to get better with that. But I feel like with men it's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, even with my son, like with my son's is autistic, he's on the autism spectrum. So like when I have a conversation with him, that's another layer that teaches me how to adjust, because you can't just blurt at an autistic child about stuff, because like they don't process stuff, social cues, they don't process stuff the same way. So you gotta adjust the way you communicate there. Just like when I'm talking to my wife, I gotta adjust the way I communicate. Mind you, we blunt with each other. We real blunt. She'll be like, "Yo, you fat." Be like, "All right, it is what it is." Like, you're like, "All right," like, you know what I'm saying? We talk to each other like it is what it is. Like, but when it's a serious conversation, like y'all like something, there's a way you approach it so that, because the goal of the conversation is to have a good outcome. It ain't just to be like, "Yo, like I said, blah blah blah." I kept it real. Like, nah, bro. Like the result is, what's the result? So like,
what's the resolution? How do we come to a resolution? It ain't about how I feel or how you feel. How do me and you get on the same page and make each other feel like, okay, cool. I get what you're saying. Here's what I'm saying. How do we move forward?
And how do I get the best results? How do I get the best results from what I feel? Because if I'm coming at you rah, I know I ain't about to get nothing like that.
Hey, man. We talked about episode, part of it's bet on yourself. And I talked about how in college, we knew it right away that you were extremely talented. So Nate was the person, and we didn't go to a small school. Like, so this is the black population might not have been the largest, but it was a decent amount of people as far as the attendance rate and enrollment rate. And Nate would be the person that, hey, we need this sketch done for the poster of this, or we doing a Martin Luther King celebration. Can you draw this? When we talk about betting on yourself, because I remember when you started really making art and displaying it for yourself when we were adults at that point, out of college, and everything else, man. What was it that made you turn this on? Because if I'm not mistaken, you always wanted to be an artist from the time you were a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it that changed for you? This is even before Cole. What was it that changed for you to say, you know what, let me actually start putting a little bit more effort into this?
Honestly, there's always a part of me. Like, I mean, you're a creative person too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all here because y'all creative. So there's a part of you that's always going to feel incomplete unless you're doing that thing that you call to do. That's a part of your purpose. So there's always going to be an itch. It's like, and that's what I was talking about, like depression and stuff like earlier. Like if you don't, it's bottled up in you and you don't express it, if you don't chase after it, it'll start eating you up. So I think that for me, like, even though like I took years off from, you know what I'm saying, doing the work. Mind you, as a kid, I always wanted to be an artist, man. I feel like every kid wants to do something wild or creative, man, until the world tells them they can't. But like, you know what I'm saying, growing up, I always wanted to do it. In college, I kind of wanted to do it, but I didn't think it was realistic. Didn't know that it was even possible to do that because everybody in the museum.
Did you major in it?
Can I ask? Yeah.
I took some art classes, but everybody, what?
I just want to ask you something real quick. Go ahead.
I just want to know, was art your major?
No. So I was at first it was education, then art education, and then it just went to, I'm just here taking classes because I'm just in college, just in college.
Facts.
I always took art classes because I enjoyed it. Like that's the only classes, you know what I'm saying, aside from a few, you know, culture classes I took, but art was like those classes I really loved.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had to ask you this because I suffered through the same thing, and you know this. You talk about art and not being realistic, but you had a slew of people telling you the same way you told me about what I should be doing. We were all telling you, and it wasn't just your inner circle, it was strangers. Like, oh, you need to do something with this. Why did you still feel it was unrealistic, even though you had all these people telling you and in your ear saying, yo, this is the path? What do you think that was? Because
like there's no I mean, at the time, there's no pathway to success when it comes to art. Like there's no ladder. There's no corporate ladder that you can climb. You know what I'm saying? To be successful, like to be successful in our business, you have to be skilled and known. That's really the two. You gotta have both of them. And for me, at the time when I'm, you know what I'm saying, doing some artwork for somebody, I spent all this time, you know what I'm saying, 2010, 2011, when I'm painting something or drawing something up for somebody. And I look back, I saw an old post, bro, like 2009, that I made an ad where I was like selling art or drawing stuff for people for $100, or, you know what I'm saying? It felt like I was making it. I was like, I'm doing something. Like, to me, I'm like, yo, like, that's good. But like, in order for me to make it a career, you know how many times I gotta do this? I gotta do this so many times. So it didn't feel like it was something realistic to me. Until you start to see that like the other players in the game. So like for me, I always go to the museum, and when I was in Toledo, everybody in the museum was dead. They were white and dead. So like, where are the people who are making a lot of money? Or if you go somewhere, you see the prices on the stuff, and it's like, oh, this is whack. Until I found out that an artist in Toledo, Aaron Bivens, they was like, yo, I saw some of his artwork, and I'm in the same show as him one time in Toledo. And my homegirl, she was like, hey, you know, he's selling this piece of artwork for $10,000. And I was like, $10,000? Like, that sounded crazy to me. I'm like, what?
Right.
Ain't no way. And this is back in like maybe 2011. I'm like, $10,000 artwork sounded wild to me. But like, just being able to be exposed to the other players in the game or people who are successful and just realize that it's possible. That kind of changed it because, you know what I'm saying? Again, at the time, you selling $200-$300 for some artwork, and that's all you're doing. Is like, man, I'm just working just to give my stuff away to people. And then you realize that at some point, there are people out here who are really making a living and living, you know what I'm saying, off of their work. That's a benefit, man. That's kind of what changed a little bit, I should say.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you happen to see it. You had to see that it was real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus trying to be the first person to do it and all the other stuff. I want to ask you, let's talk. This is one of the most fascinating things that you and I have ever discussed, Nate. And that's knowing your worth. Because there is no, you set your price, you set your value, right? And I want to talk about the story of when you this kind of clicked for you. First, the Stizzy, okay? So for those who don't, Stizzy. So Stizzy is a dispensary.
Stizzy?
Yeah, Stiizy. You've probably heard of it. It's a dispensary. So it's a weed brand.
Okay.
And I don't even know how did it lead to that? How did you get in contact with? How did they get in contact with you? Like, what year did you do the mural for them? Like, what? Because I want to ask you a great question.
Well, from connection from college, you know what I'm saying? My boy from college reached out and was like, "Hey, he's working there." And he was like, "Hey,
okay.
You know, plug you in. You know what I'm saying? We need some work done." I'm like, I never heard of this place, but in my mind, I thought it was like some little mom and pop shop.
Still mad at you to this day.
Right.
For those who don't know, if you go to LA, you can fly back with up to an ounce of weed.
Yes.
I remember when Nate was going out here to LA, and I said, Nate, man, bring me back some flour, bro.
They was giving me so much stuff.
They was giving him so much shit, and he don't smoke.
I was like, nah, we good. Like that ain't my lane. I was like, nah, we good.
And I told him specifically, I said, Nate, you can take this on the plane. And I said, give me an ounce of flour. They're giving you stuff, blah, blah. He did bring me back 2 disposable pens, which I appreciate you for.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you definitely gave it. You definitely brought that back for me, but I definitely wanted that bud.
You know how much I was sweating off them pens? Bro, I'm telling you, you know how much I was sweating off them pens? Just thinking about man, here come the dogs. Here come the dogs, bro.
Yeah, I'm still salty about Nate for that. But either way, my bad, not to interrupt. So you thought it was a mom and pop shop.
Yeah, I thought it was a mom and pop shop. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, at first I was like, a dispensary. I'm like, oh, here we go. And I was like, you know what I'm saying, mom and pop shop until like I actually did some research. And I was like, oh, this is like a warehouse. I was like, oh, this is huge. And then when I got out there, I was like, oh no, this is crazy. But he reached out like, hey man, first it was the owner wants 4 pieces of like LA icons. So it was like Kobe, Nipsey, Eazy-E, and I don't remember who the fourth person was.
Ice Cube.
One Cube. I don't remember who the fourth person was. But it was four icons. Kobe. Did I say Kobe already?
Yeah, you said Kobe, Nipsey, Eazy-E.
Kobe, Nipsey, Easy.
There's 4 of them. I don't know who the fourth person was. Tupac. Even though he was from LA. But anyway, yeah, so I did those for him. You know, that was a whole little thing, discussed the price with him. And at the time, I just
how did he find you?
I mean, that was my boy from college. So
okay,
like, you know what I'm saying? He always knew that like I did art.
Gotcha.
And then at the time, because of my wife, I started like picking up my I didn't even have an Instagram then. But he just knew I did. I would post it on like Facebook or something like that.
Yeah, what year was this? It's like, was it COVID or right before it?
This is COVID. So I was out there with a mask on.
2020.
Okay.
Yeah, 2020. But yeah, like, it was a cool, and then but yeah, so I did the 4 pieces and I shipped them out there, and he was like, "Hey man, he needs to do a mural. So like, how much? What's your price?" So I'm like, "All right." So I'm like, mind you, at the time I'm probably selling artwork for like, I don't know, like maybe like $1,200, $1,500. So I'm thinking I'm doing something then. So I'm like, man, sometimes I don't know if y'all experience that, but you ever have somebody ask you to do something and you give them a stupid answer just so they can go away, just so they can be like,
Yep.
all right, I'm good.
Yep.
But I was like, but in my mind, I was like, yeah, let me and I'm gonna just tell you the prices. I was like, yo, he's like, how much for that mural? I was like, let me get I think the mural was $5,000. I was like, let me get $5,000 for it. It was like a huge painting, like huge canvas. And it was like, all right. And I was like, dang, they took that bait. I was like, all right. Now, mind you, I'm like, at the time, I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? But mind you, I felt like I wasn't really ready for it. But I just took the opportunity anyway. I was scared. But I was like, man, I ain't never did this. And we're going to do this live too in the store so people can see you. Still kind of not knowing what it is until I got there. And when I went in there, I'm just like, oh my, like that's like that place was like, I don't know, that was huge. But I get to working, and then that's when I start having a conversation with the people. And I'm talking to people all the time, like people, locals coming up, hey, what's good, bro? Where you from? And the more I talk to them, they're like, hey man, you don't mind how many times I had a conversation, man? Hey man, you don't mind me asking how much you charge them for this? I was like, man, 5,000. It was like,
but when it was the big dogs that you overheard the big dogs kind of be like, can you believe he only charged $5,000?
Yeah,
That's the part that always fascinated me.
And that's the part in mind, like everybody looking at me, mind you, these just locals. They're just looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, yo, like you did all this for $5,000? Man, let me get your car, bro. And I'm like, wow. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, like I thought that, you know what I'm saying, I had priced myself out, but somebody else, they're like, yo, like that's pennies. That's pennies, you know what I'm saying? Especially for what I did. I still feel like I ain't get my just due on that. But
you didn't. I'll tell you right now, you did not.
What was it that made you think that was the price you needed to charge, and like not stepping into, I'm gonna bust these niggas' head because I know I'm cold. Like, what was it?
Being on a real, like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes like when you don't have it like that, like mind you, money was coming in and it was decent in 2020. Like we ain't have a whole lot going on because you wasn't going to restaurants, you wasn't going on dates like that. It was just y'all just wearing a mask and sitting around the house all the time. So like we wasn't doing a whole lot of outside activities like that. So I wasn't spending nowhere near as much money. But like when you an artist or in general, like sometimes you have an opportunity that comes across and you like, yo, like I don't know if I have, like why would I pass up this kind of money? Like I feel bad because I'm passing up some money. You know what I'm saying? Like that desperation sometimes will make you be like, yeah, let me just, I'm scared of going too high. And they be like, nah, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then you're like, dang, like, man, you know what I'm saying? I was watching Joe Budden podcast and he was talking about that. He was talking about another artist, same situation. He created a painting for the Joe Budden podcast. It was a dope painting. And Joe reached out like, hey man, how much? And he was like, yo, let me get 20,000 for it. And Joe like, nah, I'm good. Then he done left more red and dude hit back. Wait, whoa. I'll give it to you for 13. And dude like, nah. And at that moment, you devalue yourself. Like when you do stuff like that, you value yourself. But it's the desperation that make people be like, nah, I don't want to pass up on this opportunity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if the money's on the table, I want to be able to take that money because I'm scared that you may think that I'm not worth it. And then you won't give me the money for it, or I'll be like, I'm out of it. I'd rather have $5,000 in my hand than no money at all.
That's the thing that we struggle with as creatives. Like, you know, if you are heavily you researching the game and you know what people got to do, you know how much the price is for it, but still you don't want to price yourself out when people look at you like, this nigga crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now I get this nigga crazy versus I can make $5,000. Like it's a thing that you got to deal with in our industry, especially when you setting your own prices. And that's podcasters, that's artists, that's editors, whatever it may be. It's like I know what I'm worth, but I also know that people don't understand the value that I add to this.
Yeah, that's the hard part is the connection between I know my worth, but as a creative, in order to survive,
Facts.
Gotta
I
believe
need this. Yeah, exactly.
They gotta believe in your worth, and you know what I'm saying. And you set that standard. You set that standard. You know what I'm saying? Because like my mom always said that. Like she would always say that. Even when I was younger, when I was in high school, I was doing artwork. That's how I paid for. I didn't have no jobs. That's how I paid to go to prom. I was drawing and selling artwork to teachers to get money to pay for prom. But she would always say, like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, she's like, son, make sure you set your price, and your price is your price, and you don't come down for nobody. Facts. Because the moment you come down and you give somebody a low price, they're gonna go tell their friends, hey, go hit him up.
He'll do it for this.
Price is. And then that's what's gonna be known. You're gonna be known that this is where he is. If he tell you anything outside of that, he's tripping. So you value yourself based on where you place yourself.
That's a good point you stumbled upon. Being in this game for I've been doing podcasts for 15 years, and their conversations that I had was like, I'll give you this, and you're like, nah, I'm not doing it for that. Like it ain't no way I'll do it for that. But you also price yourself out because people look at you in a different aspect, just like what you're saying. Yeah. I know what I bring to the table and the value that I add, but at the same time, it sounds crazy to you because you ain't familiar with this space.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the reason why so many artists sign 360 deals. They sign all these crazy deals. It's because, like, man, like when that money, the opportunity right in front of you, if somebody walk up and be like, hey, man, I give you $1 million, you know what I'm saying, signing bonus, but you're gonna be a slave to me forever. That $1 million right now, when you poor and your family is poor, like as a creative, like there's no real value, like actual tangible value to what we do. Aside from
it don't make sense for what I do. So it's great for what you do, but what I do, it don't make sense.
Yeah, it don't make sense. So like what we do is intangible. It's intangible. Now mind you, like I create a physical thing, but like the art is just like what you see on the canvas is just a reflection of what's here. Like my hands don't do the work. It's this. So like same way with y'all, when y'all sitting here having a conversation, y'all speaking, this is what's working right here. So like how do I get paid for what my thoughts are? Because like my hands only do what my mind tell it to do. So like how do I get paid for doing that? And that's like that's from thin air. Like I'm getting paid for my thoughts. I'm getting paid for what my mind thinks. So how do I convert that into like an actual like standard? Like this is how much I should get paid for doing X, Y, and Z. It's a hard thing to do, but you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like you really have to bet on yourself. And then eventually you go from plateau to plateau. Like, all right, cool. Like first I was like, all right, I'm selling artwork 1,500.
When you get to a certain point and it sounds like you at that, it's only a couple niggas in the world that can do what I do. Yeah, like y'all trying to dismiss this, like, oh, I can go get this person or this person, but no, it's only a couple niggas that can do at the level that I think at, like what you just said with your mind. It's only a certain amount of niggas that can do this. Yeah, and you gotta pay me for that.
Yeah, it's a skill, man. It's a skill, and then like, and then also like it ain't cheap. Like y'all materials and stuff ain't cheap. Like I've been seeing y'all, especially seeing Kyron, man. When Kyron first started off, bro, Kyron like his screen looked like mine. Like now he need to upgrade the equipment. You know what I'm saying? I see a microphone. My dude got headphones in. He's using, you know what I'm saying, the StreamYard app. Like he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole lot going on that it takes to evolve. And this is still like where he's gonna go. Where y'all gonna go is like it's still here. But y'all gonna go so much further and y'all gonna grow, and then it's gonna become bigger and bigger and bigger. But it's expensive, bro. It's expensive to follow that creative, you know what I'm saying? To follow your dreams, bro. It's expensive. So you need
Let me ask you,
be compensated for it.
In that same vein, so how did that moment in LA recalibrate your mindset on what your worth is and make you look at things differently? Because I know it's got to feel away when you got the heads of people who made the deal looking at you work and saying, hey, we got over on this dude right here. Yeah. How did that recalibrate what your worth is and like get you in a good space? And just out of curiosity, if that same offer came to you today, same location, same offer, what do you think you would charge them?
Oh, I'm probably like quadrupling that for sure. I'm quadrupling that. And if not, I'd probably hit it for a 30 piece. For the same thing, probably a good 30 piece for sure. And I still think that's chump change. I still think that's some change in comparison to the millions that they're bringing in. if you'd have seen, like, it's like I don't know how dispensaries are in Ohio. I never been in one, but this place was like, it was the size of a Walmart, but the lines is wrapped around going in and out.
Yeah, jumping like Jordan.
The products that they was giving me for free, like, here, man, try this, here, take this, try that. And I'm looking at how much it actually costs. And these people were coming in weekly. They were coming in multiple times. Sometimes it's my third time being here this week. I'm like, dang, bro, that's how much money was coming in. So imagine doing something that stays in their establishment for, it's still up there right now if you go there, for years.
Mm-hmm.
That's an investment for them.
Thanks.
They stay there for years. That's a staple for them. That when they come in, people are taking pictures and taking selfies with it. That adds to your brand. That's something that you know what I'm saying? 30,000 is nothing. You make way more than that in a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you make that way more than that in a day. But here I am, like, thinking I'm doing something bad. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think I would try to hit him.
I always get so proud, man, when I see pictures of it still. I see people going in. I'm like, hey, man, my brother did that mural. Like, it's just so dope to see that, because I remember that was just being a big moment, and I just never forget that story. But going back to the other question, just how did that recalibrate you? What did you do, or what did you change to say, you know what, my price is my price? Because I know that can lead to even, we talk about it all the time, man. So I say it at least, support your friends, support your family the same way you support these celebrities.
Yeah.
And we talk about how, I always say, I know Spike feels the same way, I'm never gonna ask somebody who's creative or doing something, or if they make shirts or hats or whatever, I'm never gonna ask them for a discount.
Yeah,
that's what they do. I wouldn't go into a regular store and ask them for a discount. Like, I'm not gonna do that to my brother who's trying to do something, or my sister who's trying to do something. How does that work, and how does that keep you? Because there's people, you know, we talked about college. Tons of people we talked from college that probably hit you up and think like, oh, I know Nate since back in the day. Yeah. They gonna cut me a little deal, and you gotta be like, nah, bro, this gonna. Nigga, my talent done got out that price range. I'm out of here.
Yeah, my talent.
Like, how do you stick to that and still staying true to who you are?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know. It's one of them situations where it's like, you got to be okay with people not being okay with you because of you knowing what your work is worth. Like, I know a little bit about art history, and art history is in the history of art, especially in just around the world. Art is not something that the common man had access to. So the common man did not have an original painting on the wall or artwork at all in their home. Mm-hmm. That wasn't common. You had to be an exceptional elitist to have artwork in your home, especially for somebody who was known. So because of how expensive it was, and you know what I'm saying, in that world, art was revered. These days, now we have TJ Maxx, we got AI, we got all kinds of stuff that it's easy to just put some on the wall. So, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes people devalue it. But I don't know. I feel like as far as people who know me, man, in the discount thing, man, the thing is, man, I think a lot of times what I deal with the most is people who reach out knowing, or not knowing that they can't afford it. But or people who reach out expecting like, yo, like, look out for me for the low. Or people who just want a discount. Like, the discount thing is the wildest thing, because I don't think I've ever asked for a discount for nothing. Like, like you said, if you got something going on, I'm gonna support it. But I kind of for years I would do like, I'd rather give something to you for free than for you to ask me for me to lowball myself on it. But like for years, I started being like, all right, man, I guess treat my artwork like it's something important. Like, yo, I don't come down on my price for nobody, friends or family or nobody. This is what it is. And if you can afford it, cool. If you can't, that is what it is. I mean,
that's why you sell prints. Like, you buy a print. You maybe can't afford an original piece.
Even that has had, you know, moments. But like, you know what I'm saying? But like, the reality is like, man, like, you just, I don't know, like, I don't know. Like, I thought your question was.
I got two questions. I had two questions off that. One is, somebody that respects your talent and they reach out to you and they say, this is what I want. What's the average ticket price for that?
It really depends on what you're looking for. Okay. I normally, so what you described as a commission. So commission when somebody say, hey, can you paint a portrait of my family or something like that?
Right.
Normally, I don't like doing stuff like that because it feels like
Why?
it feels like shackles. It feels like creative shackles. It feels like I'm forced to do something I really don't want to do. Like I only like doing. I like when it comes to creativity.
So what if they reach out to you and say, I fuck with your brand. I see what you're doing. I just want the next thing that you're doing
That
from a creative.
yeah,
I don't need you. I don't need you to make it catered to me.
yeah.
But from creative space, the next thing that you do, I want that.
So right now,
what's the ticket for that?
Right now, I'm probably between 35 and 4,000 right now.
Okay.
And mind you, when I talk to other artists, they be like, "Yo, that's nothing." So like, I think that it comes with time, and all the whole about so knowing your worth, all kind of stuff. Sometimes you have to learn it over time. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a time where I was selling my artwork for $500, and I thought that I was doing something, and I felt like I'm getting my worth. And then I started selling for 15, and I was like, I'm crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? So eventually it takes time to get to that point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you talk to any artist, they'll tell you, yo, I was not out the gate coming out like, boom, here's 20,000, here's 30,000 for my artwork. You know what I'm saying? They started off the same way, selling it for cheaper. I even talked to one of the artists, like the guy I was telling you about who you know what I'm saying, who's making $60,000, $70,000 for his originals. He was like, yo, I was selling my art for less than what you were selling yours for when I first started off. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I'm saying? I think it come with time. But if somebody reached out like, yo, like I want to do X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? Especially if the offer is like reasonable, or if the idea is something that I want to do. Like, so sometimes I'll be like, yo, I don't know what it is, but I got a concept, and I want you to, if you can just create this kind of concept, I'll pay you whatever. That sounds more like something I would be interested in doing, or somebody being like, hey man, my auntie passed. Can you do my auntie? And I'm like, I really don't want to, because I don't know you or your aunt. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not investing in it. So I'm just sitting up here like, you know what I'm saying? But like, that's not what I'm not passionate about it. I don't like doing stuff that I care about. And then you can tell in the way it looks based on, you know what I'm saying, how much passion I have for it.
Who's your favorite artist?
I would say it's a few of them. I ain't gonna lie. I would say my favorite artist.
Give me all of them.
I would say Kevin Williams, Art by Wack. So like, we probably seen his artwork so much, but probably don't realize it. So like, in the alpha fans that they had with the dude who did like this, all kind of stuff, all of them Greek pictures, that was him.
Yeah. Snap! I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's him. That's what I'm talking about. Frank Morrison. Yeah. Frank Morrison. Y'all ever see the pictures where the black men playing basketball with the super long arms, and they dunking the ball and playing basketball? That's Frank Morrison. That's another black artist that I'm a big fan of. Kendall Wiley. He's in all the museums, man. He does a lot of the neoclassical type, some Renaissance style type paintings, but he insert black bodies into them. You know what I'm saying? It could be a dude with a do-rag, but he's like posing like some like, you know what I'm saying? So those are probably some of my favorite artists.
Nice. I got two questions for you. Last two questions I have. First one is, you talked about it a little bit. I don't know if I've ever personally asked you this. How do you find your motivation? Like, how do you know what that next piece is going to be? Do you ever go through lows? Because I know you went through one maybe last year where you just weren't motivated to work. You didn't have you weren't inspired. Yeah. What keeps you inspired, and how do you find that? Because I'm always fascinated by your pieces because they're very distinctive. And they're not like go ahead.
I appreciate it. Motivation. I think that it varies. Sometimes I could be out. Well, for one, I think one of the first things that inspires me all the time is like y'all. Like seeing people who create always inspires me. So like if I'm out somewhere, especially music, if I'm out somewhere and I see a live band, like when that time I was in Cincinnati, stuff like that, people who are creative getting their bag and they doing their thing, it always makes me think about myself and be like, yo, like I don't know why. And for some reason, live music always does it. If I go somewhere and I listen to a live jazz band, a neo soul artist, I'm like, man, it makes me think about creating. And then like in my mind, I start seeing, like, I can see paintings, like I see stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? I can see it, but it's like, it's just here. I can see it, like, dang, all these ideas start flowing. So I would say music, but just watching other people create and seeing other people in their bag with their creative bag, that inspires me. And then I don't know, just however I'm feeling. Like sometimes it can hit me. I'll be watching a TV show and I'll be like, boom, 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 there it is. And then like, you know what I'm saying? So it really varies. Sometimes I can see something that inspires me, a color may inspire me, or a thought that comes to my heart, or a conversation, whatever it is, it can inspire something. And then, you know, from there you start to create.
You just said something, and I just want to ask you this real quick, just before I get to my last question. How do you deal with burnout? How do you deal with like, yo, I just don't have it, or I don't feel like doing this, or like maybe this isn't it? How do you deal with burnout?
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how to deal with that. I feel like I was just talking to Cole about that.
Same.
Actually, just yesterday, I was talking about that. I said, yo, like sometimes I feel like I'm burnt out, especially when, you know what I'm saying, I was in a mode where like I was just creating just to pay rent. I'm creating just to make ends meet. Or I'm creating just to, we need X, Y, and Z, or we got this event coming up, or we need blah, blah, blah. Like, all right, cool. We go ahead and hustle up. You know what I'm saying? But like that idea, it drains your creativity. It drains when you creating out of survival mode, when you're doing stuff out of survival mode, it drains the creativity, the true passion for it. And eventually I was like, bow, 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 just cranking them out fast. But then I started being like, why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? So like, as far as how to handle burnout,
it don't mean nothing to me.
I don't know how to handle it.
It don't mean shit to me. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I really don't know how to manage that, because I feel like
being a creative in the same spot, it like you do that shit to just pump it out. It's like it don't mean shit to me, and I don't care.
Yeah, and mind you, like some of them, I truly do. I truly do like. Oh, I really like that. But like eventually, like when it comes to burnout, bro, like I don't know how to. Sometimes I don't know how to chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm doing something that I really care about, it's a piece that I'm passionate about, there is no burnout for that. But if I feel like I'm creating so that I can make sure that we can survive, then that's where the burnout comes. That's where the burnout comes. And then
when I gotta do this.
Yeah, so I feel like I can't turn that off. I don't know how to manage that, because if I feel like we need it, I'm going to crash out again. I'm going to do it again. So I'm not at the point where I'm like, yo, I could just sit back and chill, like, because I done made enough money for the next 4 or 5 months with the work that I just did. I could just chill and just get a mental, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know how to do that. And
you ever had a piece?
I'm burned out now, and it's not even art. I think it's my.
You burnt out now?
I feel like I'm starting to be burnt. Not with the art. I just feel like in life. Like I feel like I'm. You know, like I said earlier, like when y'all asked me, like, "Yo, how you feeling?" I said, "I'm just," you know what I'm saying? Because like these days, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, when you got a kid, you got a 2-year-old, constantly needs your attention. You got a wife, you got to give her attention. You got a son. You're in a house with 3 people. The 3 people have 3 different relationships with you, and all 3 need you in 3 different ways, and you got to show up for them. You're not allowed to just, you know what I'm saying?
That's why I commend every nigga in a relationship doing the things that you do, like, because it's so much that you gotta like. I gotta consider them. Yeah. And when niggas like me, I'm single. I ain't gotta do that. So I know what it takes, because I've been in a long-term relationship, and like I know what it's like having to consider them, and versus I'm just doing me.
Yeah.
You ever had a I promise I'll get to my last question in a second. I'm just curious. You ever had a piece that you just didn't want to get rid of, like didn't want to give up? You ever made something that just like so near and dear to you, like, man, I don't want to sell this?
Man, quite a few, man. I've done quite a few. I can't lie. It happens every so often. And mind you, it's always the ones that I'm like passionate about, like the ones I take the most time into, the most thought, and like I create something, and then once I'll be like, yo, like we may need the cash, you know, we may need the money, and I'm like, yo, I put it out there. And it's a piece I'm like really, really proud of, and then I'll say a number, throw out a number like, yo, this is X, Y. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody be like, all right, bet, sold.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, like, and mind you, like, you be happy, but the money don't even make me happy for real. Like, I was like, dang, like a part of me is gone. Every time I create a piece, that's time of my life that I put into something, a physical thing that you could just pick up. But that's hours and hours and hours of my life that I put into this piece. Each piece is hours and hours of thought and time that you put into something that somebody can take from you. With a couple dollars, they can take something from you, and it's theirs. It's not theirs.
This is This is a perfect segue to my last question. You talk about putting hours and hours of your life and somebody just taking it. I don't even know if you can speak on this at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You have a situation going on right now where a company, I won't name who they are, a company stole your artwork and printed it on shirts.
Yeah.
What does that feel like an artist? Is there a little bit of pride of saying, oh, I'm that dope to where somebody needs to steal, but also the frustration and the anger of how dare you steal something that I poured my life, my blood, my sweat, my tears into to make a profit? You were gaining profit off of something that I created.
Yeah.
And you didn't even give me credit, give me anything. How is that process going? Because I'll be honest with you, man. If I was me, man, I'm knocking on office doors. Like you handle it a lot better than I would.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the legal route, but
yeah.
What is that like for you mentally in that space?
At first, I was, I'm upset. Like you go through all the emotions. Like first, you're upset, and mind you, like it's a big platform. So like, it's like at first it's anger because you feel like somebody just violated you. Like they just took something from you. It just feel like somebody walked up in your house and just took something, and now they profiting off of you. But really, what bothered me the most, I'd probably say, what bothered me the most is not even that they stole from me. What bothered me the most is that, like, I know that the people who are the heads of this big multi-billion-dollar company and corporation don't care nothing about black bodies, don't care nothing about black people, but they wanted to take something that meant something to people like me and exploit that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what bothered me the most is black women love to see, like, how often when you go into museums and stuff like that and galleries, do black women get the opportunity to look somewhere and see their reflection, to see themselves honored in a certain type of way? And that means something to them. So like the artwork to other cultures, the stuff I make, they be like, I mean, it's a beautiful painting, but to other women, when black women see some of those pieces with the black girls with the hair, breasts and all that kind of stuff, for them, they like, oh my God, it brings me back to my childhood. It brings me back to that. And that bothered me because the people who don't look like me, who knows what race they are, but I'm guarantee you they don't look like us. These people sitting up there and they pick out this right here, I can use this because that emotion I know that they getting from it, I can profit off of that. And that's what bothers me. So that bothered me. And to see so many, when you look at the comments, you see the thousands that were being sold of this. You know what I'm saying? The thousands, they sold thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And then the pictures of these proud black women, they're like, yo, look for the culture. And they posting this, and they're like, yo, and then they really feeling proud. But they don't realize that like somebody is playing off you. Like they stole from somebody who's black to put this out here because I know that you care about seeing yourself so much that you'll buy this and not realizing that you're ripping off the original person that came from. So that's really what bothered me, man. And then seeing somebody profit off of it, I'm like, dang, man, maybe I should have been selling shirts the whole time. Like I was at one point, but like maybe I should have been.
Yeah, that's how you were.
Hey, like dummy, like why would I doing that? But, yeah.
Man, I really hope that gets resolved for you in a positive manner, man, because that still pisses me off to this day.
We have a settlement meeting at the end of this month, brother. So
that's what's up.
Hopefully that goes
what's up, man. Hope you get your just due and everything else, and then learn not to do that, man, because that really, especially when it's somebody you know and love, man, it's like, man, y'all. Obviously, anytime you get a first-hand seat, I've sat in the crib when Nate was working. Like I've been there personally, so I know what it's like and what he goes through. So to see that just getting taken, just literally like you said, it's almost like somebody just coming to your crib, taking your shit and bouncing. Like, bro, man, like, bro, nah, man, like, what are you doing? This is my life. This might be some little company or profit to you. This is my life.
Yeah,
facts.
I mean, imagine it ain't the only one. Like it's smaller companies. Like you look on Pinterest, man. I be seeing people they done made it book covers. They didn't did stuff like that. I'm like, yo, like ain't nobody like gonna give me no credit. These shout me out. Like I might have you'd hit me up. I'd probably be like, hey man, just go ahead. You know what I'm saying? But like they just take it and just do what they want to with it. You know. But also part of me is also happy. Like the art really don't belong to me for real. Like once you put it out there to the world, it's really the intent is for people to feel what they feel. So like it don't really belong to me no more. So a part of me is also like, hey man, at least they're enjoying the work. Like at least the work is making some kind of impact. You know what I'm saying? It just sucks that it's a trash way of doing it.
Yeah, man. Nate, my brother, Spike Lou, I don't know if you got anything else.
That's it.
Nate, man, this is an absolute pleasure. I appreciate you joining us, man. I can't tell y'all enough, man. This is my brother. Like I said, I was in his wedding. I got a key to this man's house. You know what I'm saying? Where his family lays their head. Like, just to put that in perspective of how close of a relationship you have to trust someone. And I can't tell you how honored I am to have that trust, to call you my brother, to have known you, seeing your growth from the time you were 18 years old to now being 37. And just being able to accomplish all the things that you had, man, because both of us were in spots where we was like, man, the talent's there. I don't know if we're going to push through. But hopefully I've inspired you and motivated you the same way you've inspired and motivated me, man. A lot of the stuff I'm doing is because I got brothers like you in my corner who are always cheering me on and always telling me that I am worthy and I'm I deserve to have these things and kind of go after these dreams, man. So genuinely can't thank you enough for joining us. For sharing part of your story with us, man. You were officially a co-author of Another Week in the Books, man. You were officially a co-author, man. Chapter 38, Book 2. Always got an open invite anytime you want to talk about anything, because trust me, Nate will debate with the best of them. That would be Nate got a lot of mo in him.
A lot of what?
The mo, like characteristics. Like when you say something, Spike, he's going to challenge it, and there will be some good conversations from him. So you're more than welcome anytime you like to. Even if you talk about burnout. Before I was a host of Another Week in the Books, I literally used this as my sounding board. If I had something going on in life that I need to just get out and vent, I would just ask Mo and Spike, man, hey, can I come on this week and just talk about this or talk about that? That invite extends to you as well. Anytime, brother. Love you. Facts. I appreciate you.
I appreciate
and all the book. Absolutely, man. Bookworms, we appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for rocking with us. This is another chapter 38, featuring Nate Austin. Bet on yourself, know your worth, keep grinding, man. Keep going. I promise you, man, the light is always at the end of the tunnel. Until we see y'all, let's get better this week. We out.
Peace.